Desktop streaming is dead. I don't agree. I don't agree. I think that people just need to go and find these people that they're looking for. I can name a couple desktop streamers off the head. You got Caseoh, you got Jinxie, you got TK, you got K Vertez, you got Allure. There's a lot of good desktop slash gaming streamers. Y'all just need to find them. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Now, for anybody that just clicked on this video, when is the last time you sat there and you just watched a person stream? And no, I'm not talking about going to Paris Fashion Week or hosting a goddamn dating show.
Yesterday was my last time.
Just sat there, watched another person with one mic, two monitors, and you just watched them talk to their audience. No crazy ass segments, no bringing someone extremely famous on stream, just streamed to their audience. To a lot of people, it's starting to feel a little bit non-existent. So the question is desktop streaming dying? The answer is no. But wait, hold on, before you click off the video, let me explain how so many people got to this very weird conclusion. So about a week ago, I was watching a video from Soluminati called The Truth. And he basically talked about how everybody doing IRL streams is not good.
Twitch is starting to become so overstimulating. These new niggas that's coming on there are starting to look at a normal streamer in a different point of view that's botted. It's becoming harder and harder for niggas to become streamers because all y'all think y'all need to be doing IRLs. Y'all all trying to be like these niggas at the top. You got motherfuckers talking about desktop streaming is dying. How is that even fucking possible? You knew and you already thinking you need to be doing IRLs, nigga. You are a fucking bot. You're gonna fall off.
And he wasn't necessarily talking about the bigger people. He was basically talking about how a lot of smaller creators think that IRL streaming is the way to go. And sitting at the desktop or sitting at your computer streaming for your audience is boring and nobody wants to see that. But that's how you grow your community. I don't know why this is news to anybody. The reason why all these bigger creators get to do all these big massive events in IRL stream
is because they started off at the desktop. Sorry, I had to get that off. I know that's what he's gonna say, but I had to get that off. They started at the desktop.
And all these other things is because they started at their computer. They started building up their audience. And I feel like a lot of smaller creators forget that. Building a community so you can eventually go into these streams is extremely important. I feel like what a lot of newer people don't understand about streaming is meant for connections. It's meant for viewers to have a connection with the creator and for the creator to have a connection with the audience. That's what it's for. It's to talk to the person in real time. Something that you cannot do when something is recorded, like a video, a YouTube video, a short. You can't do that. You can connect with them through the comments, but not.
Y'all can't talk to me, bro. Y'all can't talk to me, bro.
A lot of people be reading their comments. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Streaming, you can interact with them in real time and you can build a relationship and eventually build something to the point where you kind of have a cult following in a way. It's for everybody to build that connection so it can eventually become a community. I feel like when a lot of newer people see these IRL streams, they're only focused on what's the craziest, funnest thing I can do? How can I get the most money possible? Where does the audience come into play? The audience is everything. If you have no audience, there's no point in people watching you. Yeah, you're doing the coolest thing ever, but it's just like, if the audience isn't involved, what the fuck is the point? See, the bigger people can do that now because they have a community to where they don't really need to indulge in their community like that, even though they should, because these are people supporting you. And another thing, when it comes down to the whole IRL streaming thing, you can't even really look at the chat like that either. If you're new coming up, all you're doing is just recording yourself IRL streaming. You're not even looking at the chat, or you're not really reading the chat. You're just glancing at the chat once and then that's it. It's like, how are you even supposed to build that connection with your audience if all you're doing is just like IRL streaming? There's no chance to really get to sit down and know you because all you're doing is going outside and streaming. Like, what's the point? You don't have a community to do that. That's why I feel like most people should really be desktop streamers at first, at least for the first couple years of your streaming career. I'm not necessarily saying that you can't do IRL streams. You can definitely do them because, you know, that's a new popping thing to do. But like, build your community first. Take your time, build your community, get it to where they'll watch you do anything, and then go from there. But I truly do understand it though. You see all these big massive creators doing these extravagant ass ideas, doing all these cool ideas, bringing this famous rapper, famous actor on stream, bruh, and you're just like, damn bro, that really look cool. That's something I want to do. So in your mind, you're gonna think, oh, That's what I have to do to get to his level. So I have to go outside, do all this crazy shit just to get attention. But no, like I said, all these big people started out as desktop streamers. They didn't even spark up an IRL stream until they truly knew what it was. And I do understand, in a sense, we're in a streaming environment where IRL kind of basically runs Twitch as of right now, but it's all gonna come back in full circle. If anything, desktop streaming is wide open for anybody who wants to take over that lane. To be honest with you, you just have to truly want to put the work in to do so. Bro, there are so many.
If you're entertaining or you got a decent personality, you never have to IRL. You never have to IRL. If you have a good enough personality and you're entertaining enough, you never have to touch IRL. Why did I say that so weird? IRL, 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 IRL. You feel me? You could stay in that room, in that rolly chair. This is why communities are important. Having a good community, building a good community means it's all in your hands.
Find them. And there was also another thing that Solo Minotti said in his video that I truly do agree with. The reason why you think desktop streaming is dead is because all you're watching is IRL content. That's all you consume. If you think desktop streaming is boring, it's because you've come across so many boring desktop streamers. You're not looking in the right places. So you automatically think that, oh, desktop streaming is boring and it's dead, so I'm gonna go watch someone travel around the world while they stream it. Of course you're gonna think it's boring because you've seen so much extreme shit. But I can understand to a certain extent why people who are newer to the streaming world don't really find desktop streaming appealing. They don't really know the history of how streamers used to stream. They don't really find it entertaining. Sitting in your chair entertaining a bunch of people for hours upon hours does not sound appealing. Going outside and doing crazy shit sounds way more interesting. But the thing is, and I feel like a lot of people don't talk about this, desktop streaming builds on-camera presence. Sitting there trying to entertain people for hours upon hours can build on-camera presence, and that goes for IRL streams and desktop streams. If you are not entertaining on the camera, nobody is going to watch you, bro. And that honestly goes for anything, really, mainly for streaming, because streaming, it's live. It's a live video. So building that on-camera presence can really go a long way for you. You just have to want to do it. There's also another thing too. I feel like a lot of people aren't really that interested in streaming. They're interested in the idea of
Facts. This capture card is so sorry, bro. I swear, bro. I literally had to do this twice, bro. I literally had to rewatch this last 2 minutes of this video twice.
In your chair entertaining a bunch of people for hours upon hours does not sound appealing. Going outside and doing crazy shit sounds way more interesting. But the thing is, and I feel like a lot of people don't talk about this, desktop streaming builds on-camera presence. Sitting there trying to entertain people for hours upon hours can build on-camera presence, and that goes for IRL streams and desktop streams. If you are not entertaining on the camera, nobody is going to watch you, bro. And that honestly goes for anything, really, mainly for streaming, because streaming, it's live. It's a live video. So building that on-camera presence can really go a long way for you. You just have to want to do it. There's also another thing too. I feel like a lot of people aren't really that interested in streaming. They're interested in the idea of streaming. Like, you don't have to go through the entire history of streaming, but understand it to a certain extent. Find your favorite stream.
I said it before, I'll say it again. Newer streamers are seeing older streamers receive the fruits of their labor. It took old streamers years to get the money they make, to get the motion they make, to get the respect that they want. It has taken them years. Newer streamers are seeing these flowers being given, and they feel like their time is running out, which is not true, because it takes years to build these communities. It takes years. Some people get lucky, but for the most part, it takes years. So, newer creators, your time is not running out. You're just new. Alright? Give it some time. Allow your community to build. Obviously, I agree desktop is not dead. Alright, I love desktop streams. I like desktop arguably way more than IRLs. IRLs are interesting, but I prefer just chatting streams, I'm not gonna lie. I've been watching Twitch since like 2020, 2019, bro. So the just chatting, the desktop streams, it reminds me of the old days, you know? The old days, AMP or YRG. Um, who else was streaming back then? You know, regular streams. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Do y'all think desktops are dead? Do y'all enjoy desktops? Do y'all think IRLs are just way better? Y'all let me know.